Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Barb.
I am Barb Good, and welcome everyone here today. I am happy to say a warm welcome to our guest, musician Edith Wallace. Edith's music is always inspiring. We're glad you're here and glad you're with us today. Please stand as you are able, and join in as we sing this morning's opening song.
To teach you a song today, so and that's not your fault, Barb. I guess it's in the speech. Everybody stands. I've hurt my hand, so we'll see how it goes guitar-wise. This is a song that's written by friends of mine. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong? Okay. Sorry. I always feel like I need to have a parade following behind me, because every Sunday to get here ends up with some grand, like today it was a train, and I got stuck behind it, and yeah, I need to relax, and I'm always worried that I've done something wrong. Like that's from the last time I was here, all the things that I worry about that I do wrong while it's looking like I'm doing stuff right. In my head, I'm thinking, oh no, I said something. Oh no, everyone's meant to stand. Oh no. So here we are. Yeah, I believe there's versions of that. It's called Cheap Psychology Over Your Own Cup of Coffee. So this song, and I'm really hoping this microphone will stay up because it keeps moving. See what I mean about the parade? And I'm worried about people online or watching on there we go. Let's see. So this song is written by friends of mine who live in Missouri. And I'm always singing in other people's churches, and this one feels very much at home. And then I have the church where it's like a family, where I've been going there since I was when I first came to BC at 20 years old. So this is one of the songs that the congregation loves to sing, and I thought maybe you'd like to learn it. And apologies I'm not sure how long I can play my guitar, but you can pretend to be impressed, so we'll see. So here's how the chorus goes. Sing to our God a song of rejoicing. Shout to the Lord with sounds of rebirth. Sing to our God a song of rejoicing. We'll live in the union the good Spirit brings. So, there's the chorus. So let's do it line by line. Sing to our God. Sing to our God. So there's this thing that happens when we sing, and it's like energy moves up from the depth of us up through and out. And it's in every one of us to be able to do that, to just suck with style, just go for it. Let's go. Sing to our God, sing to our God, a song of rejoicing, a a song of rejoicing. Shout to the Lord, shout to the Lord, with sounds of rebirth, with sounds of rebirth. Sing to our God, sing to our God, a song of rejoicing. Oh yeah, you got it. We'll live in the union the good Spirit brings. We'll live in the union the good Spirit brings. Okay, so when that chorus shows up. Now, there's a really good thing you can do. You can sing, sing to our God. Shout to the Lord. And underneath, the other line keeps going. So if you all sing, sing to our God, and keep the note going, sing to our God. Yeah. Sing to our God a song of rejoicing. Shout to the Lord with sounds of rebirth. Sing to our God a song of rejoicing. We'll live in the union the good Spirit brings. So if some of you can carry the note on, and then some of you sing the second line, but those two are in the most beautiful, bountiful harmony, and we'll all sound fabulous because we're going to be naturally harmonizing. And really, I work with people who have a lot of stage fright, and that was one of the things. I put up a little poster that says "Suck with Style," because mostly when we're singing, it's like that we have so many fears about what we think we should sound like. We're used to hearing, we're in a society that lives with all kinds of recorded music, and they will spend millions on one song, and there are, if you're in the studio, there will be people who are literally chopping the singer's voice into tiny bits to put it together perfectly. And we all learn how to hear perfect voices. And the reality is there is, perfection comes with our humanity, not just all of the electronic, digital chopping and cutting that we do with notes that we're used to hearing in this world. So go for it. Here we go. Like, sing with all your beings. This is so good. Now sing to our God a joy, rejoicing. Shout to the Lord with songs of rebirth. Bring music and dances, sweet moments of silence. Take action that fosters the healing of earth. Here's the chorus. Sing to our God a song of rejoicing. Shout to the Lord with sounds of rebirth. Sing to our God a song of rejoicing. We'll live in the union the good Spirit brings. And my lesson is not to rush, because I'm so nervous that I'm getting it wrong. For God is our maker, calls us as partners, blessed, redeeming, loving all things, with Christ as our model, and everyone family. We'll live in the union the good Spirit brings. And sing to our God a song of rejoicing. Shout to the Lord with sounds of rebirth. encircle the globe with life-giving justice. Stand reassured of God's boundless grace. Be strong in the service of planet and creature. Make each day of living an offering of praise. And sing to God a song of rejoicing. Shout to the Lord. Sing to our God a song of rejoicing. We'll live in the union the good spirit brings. Now I'm just full of so much energy today and general joy. So I want to ask if we could do the last chorus again, just 'cause, and really go for it. Sing to our God a song of rejoicing. Shout to the Lord. Perfect. Sing to our God a song of rejoicing. We'll live in the union the good spirit brings. We'll live in the union the good spirit brings. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
After church service, I'd love to have a figure out singing class or something.
A figure out singing class. I love that idea too. Thank you for that beautiful song, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of New Westminster. I am Reverend Rhona Segarra, and I am so glad that you are all here this morning, which is a day that you could be doing so many other beautiful things because it is gorgeous outside. So I'm even more grateful than I normally am just to see you all here. If you are joining us for the first time, I extend a very warm welcome to you. And if you are a returning participant in our community, then I send a hello to you as well. And for those of us who are joining online on YouTube, if everyone would turn around and say hello on behalf of our community, we're so glad that you are here. And on behalf of our audiovisual team, we extend an apology for last week. We had an amazing service with children, and it was so much fun last week, and it was not successfully recorded. And so it was a sad thing for people because they were really looking forward to seeing the program. And what we'll do is the same thing again in September. And so we'll have an opportunity to welcome our kids again soon. The Unity movement here at Unity of New Westminster, we offer empowering ideas for full and abundant living. We draw primarily on the teachings of Jesus because we consider Jesus our primary way shower, our example. And we recognize that there is wisdom to be found in faith traditions all over the planet. There's wisdom to be found in our stories, in our songs, in our poetry, in our television shows, in our movies. And we celebrate the ability to see different life experiences and learn from them in a way that empowers us to move more fully into abundant living. Let us open our service this morning with prayer. We begin with gratitude, filling our hearts with praise, and feeling the expansiveness that comes from living in such a beautiful place. And we acknowledge with extreme gratitude that we are on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Kakite First Nation. And we hold First Nation peoples everywhere in a special blessing of appreciation. And in that spirit of appreciation, we remember that there is only one power, one intelligence, one creative energy. That energy that some call God, others call Creator, others call science, nature, life. By whatever understanding we have for that creative energy, we lean into the idea that there is only one, and that there is no spot that God is not. And it is in and through and as that power that each one of us exists. And following that train of thought, we realize that we are all connected, that we are one. And from our oneness, we know that when we intend for good, that good expands. When we intend love, love expands. And so we intend peace, love, contentment, healing, beauty for every person on this planet. Invoking our creative energy and extending that energy outward to bless the world. And we are so grateful. Amen.
The daily word for today, Sunday, June the 25th, 2023, joy. I'm blessed with indwelling joy. In John's Gospel, Jesus praised his disciples, and all who receive their message will experience for themselves the know he knows. For themselves the joy he knows. I share in Jesus' joy as I remember I am a living expression of the divine, created in God's image and likeness, just as Jesus was. Our ability to express life, love, wisdom, and all other qualities of God is limited only by any willingness to live from my spiritual nature. I am one with God and one in the allness of God with all people everywhere. The joy Jesus described remains with me no matter what is happening around me. I know wholeness in the midst of illness, abundance amid the appearance of lack, even sadness in the aftermath of loss cannot overtake my joy. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. John 15, verse 11.
Before we hear Edith's song before our talk today, I wanted to ask everyone who has a phone, a cell phone, to get it out for a moment. I did take yours because I don't know what I did with mine. So I'm sneaking yours. And in this next song, during this next song, if you can, please take a picture of that QR code or go to the Google Play Store and go to Tithely Churches and download our app. Because on the app, we have a place for welcome, so that's for people who want to find us for the first time. Beneath that is something called Add Notes. And when you click on this, it gives you a place, today is called Other Aspects of the Four Agreements, a place where you can write your own notes as I'm talking. Can you believe it? I'm actually giving you permission to be on your phone while I'm talking. The beauty of it is, if something strikes you in the middle of a talk and you're like, oh, I want to catch that, I want to capture this, this is a place where you can do that. And then at the end of the service, you can either download it to your phone or you can actually save it by sending it to your email. And so it's one of the many benefits of having this app. Beneath that, on the screen, is a place where if you click on it, it says videos. It'll take you to a history of all of our previous services. Beside that is one that says inspiration. That's just the talks, just my talks. Beneath that is the place for a direct link to the YouTube channel. And beside that is a link to our Zoom. So whenever you are wanting to find a quick way to get to a Zoom room, such as prayer and Wisdom Wednesdays, then you can click on that. But beneath that, of course, there's all kinds of other goodies. And then there's a giving app, part of it. But also, you know, what we believe, there's a link to that. There's a place for more where you can actually find even more information. And I just closed that down now. Gosh. On the left, top left, is that left? Yes. On the top left is a place that has 3 dots, and when you click on it, it's an inbox where we will send reminders. So if something is going wrong or church is canceled for the day or something like that, we will find it there. Website will still be very active. We'll still continue with emails, so not to worry about that if you prefer not to have the app, but I would encourage you to adopt it and share it. And it's a work in progress, but I think it's pretty cool, so I wanted to share it all with you. All right, Edith, over to you, my dear. Oh, but everybody's working. You were on your phone. Lovely, I'm glad about that.
These are the notes we're made of. Life tells us sing along. Melodies in joyous chorus, harmonies that bring us home. And these little sparks we're made of, stars on a velvet night. We are grand illumination, God in us burning bright. And in our tangles, our trials and errors, fears we fear will never cease. Live compassion, warmth and kindness, courage says, release. Overflowing peace. And maybe we are all and nothing. Maybe that's what we're made of. Maybe we are blessed unfolding deep within and high above. And are we drops of water? And do we decide? Still ponds to rushing rivers, salty tears on life's joyous tide.
That time was just a beautiful meditation time. And instead of an official or regular meditation today, I'm just going to move into our talk because we've enjoyed learning some amazing songs today. We've moved into some new technology today. We've been blessed with your flute today. And I'm feeling relaxed enough that we're ready to hear. So, we've spent the last 4 weeks working on the 4 agreements. We're talking and exploring these 4 agreements based on the book by Don Miguel Ruiz called The 4 Agreements. And think of these agreements as things that we've taken to be true about our society, about ourselves, about the way the world operates and how things should be. And much of what happens in society happens because it's intelligent to have order. Without order, there's chaos. Chaos doesn't feel good. So it makes sense to have some expectations about how life should show up, if you will. And as a result of some of the rules that we've made about what things should look like, we suffer at times because we've forgotten how to be joyful, how to sing, how to, what did you call it? Suck with style. Because we've being told that it's not okay to suck. And certainly the idea of sucking with style is a good one. Live life to its fullest. And so we've done these 4 weeks where we've looked at the 4 agreements. And as the 4 weeks have progressed, new ideas have come to me. And as a result of our Wisdom Wednesday discussion group, some other insights have kind of popped up and other aspects have popped up. And so I feel like we're not done with the 4 agreements yet. I'm sure if we could spend 6 months on them and we'd still not be done. But I want to share some more ideas with you about the 4 agreements and how they interact with Unity's principles. Now remember that birthday song or the song I sing to Happy Birthday that talks about Unity's principles? One universal power, a network of all. Ideas lead to experiences. Take time to be still. You'll live in peace. Right? That's Unity's principles done Rhona style, where I can remember what they are. And then the second verse starts at the bottom, because the idea is, of the 5th principle particularly, is you'll live in peace. That's the promise of it. But how do you live in peace? You apply the principles. And so the second verse in Rhona's version of the 5 principles is putting principle into practice. And we do that by singing that song, working backwards. And I don't know if I've got that on my screen yet. Right. So how it goes is, if peace, it also could be when peace isn't there. So when peace isn't there, take time to be still and question your thinking. What other idea could add more peace? And so I kept thinking of this second verse, which is how to put our principles into practice, in light of these 4 agreements. And I realized how powerful it is to actually follow that little ditty. Because when peace isn't there, each one of these agreements invite us to take time to be still, question our thinking, and consider another idea that will add more peace. That's really what the 4 agreements is all about. And so, let us look at some of these agreements. The first one that we looked at was be impeccable with your word, also known as don't do anything that goes against yourself. And there were 2 things that came up as a result of this agreement in our discussions. And one was, how am I being impeccable with my word if I promised to love and honor through death do us part, but now I can't stand that person anymore? I'm kind of paraphrasing. But that person is not the person who I married or that I agreed to be with, or that workplace is not the workplace that I agreed to join, or whatever other group it might be. So don't just limit it to marriage, but naturally that's the place where people vow all the time to live together till death do us part. And so the question is, how can I be impeccable with my word and ask for a divorce? And the question that comes the agreement that we've lived with, certainly what my mother lived with, was you made your bed, you lie in it. In fact, I see nods. You made your bed, you lie in it. Suck it up. Of course, they were more polite in those days and never used those words. But you deal with it. Deal with it. And what we look into Scripture, and Scripture says the only acceptable reason for divorce is adultery. So what's adultery? Well, adultery is when you're having sexual relationships outside of the marriage, which is being unfaithful. My way of looking at it, and now I'm completely just throwing it out there, but the idea of faithfulness in marriage is more than the bedroom. And so if someone is no longer loving you, treating you with the love and respect that you deserve, then they've already broken the marriage agreement. And so being impeccable with your word may mean choosing to stay, and it may mean choosing to leave. Because the most important part of being impeccable with your word is being true to yourself. And what is written in the book, The Four Agreements, if others say one thing but do another, you are lying to yourself if you don't listen to their actions. Somewhere else it says, if someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. That person doesn't walk away, you will surely endure many years of suffering with him or her. Walking away may hurt for a while, but your heart will heal. Then you can choose what you really want. So that's one aspect that I invite you to consider about being impeccable with your word. Loving yourself enough to know what the right thing is for you. And not allowing something that you may have said 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago to be the thing that hobbles you now. Be free. Make a choice. Another place that we had a discussion is the idea of not being impeccable with our word when it comes to conflict. That we have a tendency, some of us, to avoid conflict so much that we will essentially shut ourselves down and let another voice have more power than we do. And so this becomes a place where we betray ourselves if we do this. If we do this, especially if we do this unconsciously. When we betray ourselves, what happens? We start to feel resentful. We start to feel resentful. It will affect the relationship. It affects our own health. We are not being impeccable with ourselves. And sometimes, of course, it makes sense to go along to get along. And sometimes, there are times when it may be appropriate to have your voice heard. Because if it's true that we are all expressions of one power, then it doesn't matter whether you are a king or a pauper. It doesn't matter if you are male or female. It doesn't matter if you are aged or young. You are as worthy of having a voice and a preference and all that comes with it as anyone else. And so the encouragement here that I would ask you to think about is to be deliberate about giving away your power. Find a way to stay empowered. And it could be that you say yes to whatever the request or the demand may be. The difference is to say it in a way where you are choosing. Think of it as the victim accedes, the victim gives in. The victor allows. The victor makes a decision and says, yes, I'm okay with this, no resentment, open, willing to do this. Accede, shrinking. Allow, expanding. The way it says it in the book, actually, is that the victim represses and the warrior refrains. There's an element of choice. Represses, push down, chooses not to look, and feels resentment because of that. Imagine the word repression as an energy bubble that you're trying to keep beneath the surface. Refrains is, I am choosing a certain way. And perhaps one of the most powerful messages about this idea of keeping your power by you choosing is found in the book of Matthew, when Jesus, in his Sermon on the Mount, tells people that if a soldier forces you to walk a mile with them, walk 2. What's Jesus trying to say here? What he's saying is, take the power. You choose to give more than is asked or demanded as a choice, then you are being impeccable. You remain who you are and choosing. So, that's be impeccable with your word. I'm going to get to one more. We'll do version agreement number 2 today, and then 3 and 4 next week, I think. So that was agreement number 1, and some of the questions and insights that I've had and that the group has had about being impeccable with your word. Realize that anytime you harm yourself, you are not being impeccable with your word. So become empowered. Make a choice. And that goes for whether it's an agreement you made many years ago or whether you're agreeing to a demand today. Next we move to don't take anything personally. And with that one, I spoke about a framework of A, B, C, D, allowing other people's points of view, to take a step back and observe and not bite the hook of whatever someone's opinion might be. To retain control of your own reactivity and notice whether what's happening is a dialogue, two-way conversation, or a diatribe, a rant, a venting by someone. And one of the things that has come up for me a lot is, what if I didn't mind? The words, what if I didn't mind? So someone is having a meltdown of some kind, and the question that comes to mind for me is, what if I didn't mind? What if I just smile and nod? What if I don't even smile, I just nod? What if I just see it for what it is, a person having a reaction? I once saw a t-shirt, and I wish I have never found it again, but it essentially said, your opinion of me says more about you than it does about me. And I really liked that. Your opinion of me says more about you than it does about me. And so one of the things that I encourage you to think of here is notice not just the people out there and their opinions about you, but also the opinions that you tell yourself about you. So imagine that there are, we've got human voices that we know speaking to us out here in the physical, but up here in our minds, don't we have all of these little voices as well? The ones that say, you can't sing. Another one that says, suck with style. Another one that says, let it all hang out. Another one that says, keep quiet. And you have all of this mishmash of stuff going on in your head. And what if you didn't take any of it all that personally? What if instead you think, which one of these is going to be the most fun? Which one is going to be the most freeing? I'm going to choose to listen to that voice. Because they're just voices. The voices in your head are no different than the opinions of other people. And remember, opinions are like belly buttons. Everyone's got one. It's just what they do. It's what we do. But we don't actually have to believe everything that we hear, and we don't have to believe everything that we're told. I follow James Clear. Have anyone ever heard of James Clear? He wrote the book Atomic Habits, and he has a newsletter that comes out every Thursday. And he calls it, talk about a brilliant mission statement. He's got a newsletter that is split into 3, 2, and 1. 3 ideas, 2 ideas from 3 ideas from me, 2 ideas from other people, 1 question for you. And he calls this the most wisdom per word on the internet. That's their goal. So it's very clean, simple, profound stuff. And this week, the newsletter said, and I quote, "People usually judge you based on where you are currently, not what you could become eventually. Don't let one comment stop you from trying. File it away, or use it as fuel. Focus on getting better. Someone else's analysis of your current position doesn't tell you anything about your current potential. Someone else's analysis of your current position doesn't tell you anything about your current potential. And I would expand what he says here to include not just the people outside, your friends, relatives, neighbors, who are talking to you, but these voices here, who are seeing how you currently are and projecting ahead about what your potential is. Don't take it personally. If you must take something personally, choose something that you like. It's just a story that we make up. So I will, in the interest of time, leave it there today with this summary. The summary is: resolve to be as loving to yourself as you can be. Resolve to watch your I am statements. I am bound in something that I promised 20 years ago. I am making some kind of betrayal if I choose differently. I am miserable. I am happy. Think of all of those I am. I'm scared to give my opinion. And notice those I ams, and then take a step towards what will make you feel better. If it's yes or if it's no is actually kind of irrelevant. What's important is whether or not you're doing it from a place of choice. And then, from a don't take things personally, remember not to bite the hook of somebody else's opinion, including the voices in your head. Suck with awesomeness, or whatever you said, I can't remember. Suck with style, that's what it was. And remember this little ditty. Sing it with me. If peace isn't there, take time to be still and question your thinking. What other idea could add more peace? It's amazing how freeing it can be to change your mind. That's how we create heaven on earth. I bless you.
Have you felt the strength of a woman when she's all passion and power and light, and the look on her face sings of beauty and grace and you feel your heart melt at the sight. She is mother and lover and angel. She's a storm on life's sea, then she comes. You have felt the strength of a woman when she rocks you in her arms, when she rocks you in her arms. And have you felt the power of a great man when he's gentle of heart and of hand? And he stands proud and tall. He has love for us all. His compassion says he understands. He is Father and lover and angel. He's a storm on the sea, then he comes. You have felt the power of a great man when he rocks you in his arms, when he rocks you in his arms. And have you felt God's fire and the Spirit that is burning inside heart and soul, and the peace born anew in all that you do, and the healing that's making us whole? We are gods and creators of heaven. We are storms on the sea, then we come in God's loving embrace, written there on each face, when we're rocked in each other's arms, when we're rocked in each other's arms.
Some happy news. We are moving to a hybrid format for our weekly Monday meditations. Please join us in person or on Zoom every Monday as we enjoy a guided meditation and we read the names of the people on our prayer list. If you would like your name added to the prayer list, or you want to add someone's name to the list, then please fill in a prayer request slip and place it in the offering basket, or send us an email or submit a prayer request on our website or on our app. More about that later. Please join us on Wednesday nights at 7 on Zoom for Wisdom Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, Reverend Rhona hosts a discussion about the previous Sunday's message. It's time to explore and share ideas in a safe and confidential space. The Zoom link will be on the website and also in our and on our app. All are welcome.
My turn. Thank you, Barb, for sharing your advertisements with me. Which one? Oh, yeah, today's the last Sunday of the month. That means that we celebrate birthdays that happen during the month. So please join us downstairs for some, I don't know, celebration and coffee and cake and good stuff like that.
And great people.
Great people, of course.
And after the potluck, please plan to stay for Cindy's Creative Cafe and Karaoke.
We're going to save that. We got it written down.
Okay.
Karaoke
And it's also a chance for you to paint, draw, sing, tell a story, or express yourself artistically in some other way. Admission is by donation. If you want to paint, the cost is $10 to pay for the material. Here's your chance to connect with friends, share your talents, and learn something new.
However, we are going to save your $10 this week because we are postponing today because Cindy's not here. Cindy is, where is Cindy? Europe. You know, we do have Zoom. We could do it on Zoom. Okay.
We had so much fun with our spiritual play date last week. Starting today, we will have a program ready for the children who come every Sunday. So if you have children or grandchildren, nephews, nieces, or neighbors aged 5 to 11, please bring them. Spiritual play date is fun and thoughtful interfaith program that will appeal to all people, those who are religious as well as those who prefer a spiritual and not religious approach. If you would like to see another example Sunday program, you can find a link on our website or on our app.
Does that mean, by the way, that we could see stray children and bring them in? Never mind. If you're available.
If you are available for a while after service next week, we are going to touch up the paint on the medicine wheel labyrinth and clean up the landscaping on the place up on the place that plants into home on the labyrinth, install the fountain, and finalize the signage. A dedication of the labyrinth is planned for the fall. So next week, please plan to stay and work for a while outside and help to finish this unique project and maintain the beauty of our spiritual center.
In short, that means come next Saturday to work. Sunday, pardon. We are so grateful for your gifts and your support to this community. Many of you of course, have a pre-authorized payment plan with your bank, so we certainly thank you for that. And so when the basket comes, who's doing the basket today? Okay, when you pass the basket, just bless it. And I mean, if you are a pre-authorized giver, when the basket comes around, just bless it, and we thank you. So please join us. Now I've lost where I am. Please bless the silent. Okay. As we sing our blessing song, please bring to mind something you're grateful for, because we are blessed. All of us are blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We are so blessed. Yes, we're going to do peace song in just a moment. Edith, thank you for your beautiful music. That last song, it was amazing. It was amazing. It just fits so perfectly with what I was talking about, and it touched me so much. Thank you. It was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for those who work behind the scenes and behind the sanctuary to make everything move smoothly today. So thank you, Lidwina and Cliff and Greta. Thank you, Barb. Thank you for platforming today, and Walt for assisting. For all of you here, I am so grateful. Pete, thank you for coming all the way from Hope. That's a long, long journey, so I'm glad you are here. Let's join hands and sing our peace song and our prayer for protection. And we'll make a shorter circle so that we're not interfering too much with the music stands and so on. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a great week.
Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was made.